All right, welcome to a new year and a new why. I've been doing this seriously for about an hour now and it's not worked out well, so we're just going to let this fly and see where it goes. Every journey that I've had in my life that worked out well for me started off in a direction that I fully anticipated and fully planned for, and then kind of took a sharp turn somewhere along the way. And I ended up where I didn't know I was going to be, but somehow ended up being blessed by it. The old joke, where you're going to be 5 years, has become wherever God will have me be with whoever God will have me be with, doing whatever God will have me do. And that's basically as long term as I can plan. All of my plans have basically fallen short, and the MGS is no different than that. I had a very strict outline and a plan for all of 2026. I had everything uploaded all through June, and then as 2025 drew to a close and I started getting involved in conversations with other players, I realized that it had taken a direction that I didn't expect. You see, it's not about the gear anymore. And it started off being entirely about the gear, about these wee little beasties, these short scale guitars, and what kind of pickups you could do, and what kind of music you could make, and all of these tone samples and home recordings. And I was trying to improve my own skills and do all that kind of stuff so I could show off how good these things are. And they're not just for travel, they're not just for kids. You can gig with them, you get all of those kind of things focused on guitar, 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 guitar. The mini guitar part of the society. And I had completely forgotten about the society part. And then I was invited to be a part of someone's channel late last year and to have a conversation about it. And it dawned on me that the thing I missed the most about music was not necessarily the production side of it, but about the community side of it. And when we started, it was all about the production. But behind the scenes, behind all of that, the MGS was born out of recovery. It was born out of a painful season in my life. You see, I was going through some personal turmoil. For people that know me closely, they know what it is, and I've not been shy about it. But as I was climbing out of that turmoil, my hands went non responsive, and suddenly the music that I was making became an impossibility for me. And it was a way of losing my voice. There's an old saying in the church, when we pray or when we sing, we pray twice, once with words, once with song. I had lost the second part of that spiritual aspect of playing guitar, and I couldn't get it back. And so the mini guitars were an attempt for me to do that, and almost an attempt for me to defend and justify it to the world. This is why I have to play. Don't look down upon me. Don't judge me, all of those kind of things. So it was born out of this recovery. But the fact of the matter is, these little guitars that got smaller and smaller as my hands got more and more wonky, they were what kept my hands moving, but also kept my heart beating in a very real way. Kept my voice and my ability to express emotions that were beyond the words that I could find. And I'm a wordsmith by nature. I paint pictures with words on a regular basis. And I had lost my ability to express that from that deep well that I have within me, things that words just couldn't touch. And as my strength came back, the channel grew. And it became even more about the gear. It became more about scale lengths and types of pickups and locations of pickups and the processing that I was using and the types of music that it could be played and all of those differences that came into it. But it still wasn't fully formed yet. The gear content served and will continue to serve a purpose. It is a part of the story. But in my search for pickup position and processing, I was neglecting the player. I wasn't telling the whole story. Now, as I was doing content for 2026, I was reminded that when I push too hard, my body lets me know loudly. While recording some content for how much of a difference 30 days of practice can make, my hands basically locked up and shut down. They went all the way back to the beginning before the time of the mini verse. And I realized something. I was chasing content instead of community. I was chasing production instead of players. And I was making videos to show the guitars instead of making music to show what that music can mean. And it was in that realization that the Mini Guitar Society shifted for 2026. And all of the episodes that had been filmed, hours of content, has been taken down. It might get used again, but one of the things that I have to remember is that it's moving from the guitars to something deeper. The guitars are just the tool that we use to express something deeper. And if the channel's going to have any substance at all, any substance for me, it has to go deeper than just the instruments that we use. You see, the MGS exists to celebrate creativity and resilience and the joy of making music, no matter what size guitar you happen to be holding or what season of life you happen to be in. It exists for players who are new, who are aging, who are healing, who are struggling, or who are simply reinventing themselves. It exists for people who feel like their hands literally and sometimes metaphorically have let them down, but they still want to play on. And it exists because making music isn't about the type of instrument, the price of the instrument, the size of the instrument. It is about the story, the emotion, and the feeling. So here's what's going to happen this year for the MGS. Sunday afternoons, it's going to be our watch party time. We're going to have a chance for me to upload some content that's been produced in advance, and we're going to have a chance to carry on some chat while that's going on and hopefully have some continual conversations. During the week, there are going to be shorts released and maybe a little bit of a this is what's coming, but nothing really serious or structured. It's going to be more about fun and more about community because I want to participate in some of the other people's chats that I'm a part of now. I enjoy visiting their pages, especially people who do gear reviews better than I do, or they look at music from a different perspective, whether it be from a different country or a different gender. They look at things in a different way, and being a part of that community is a part of the learning that I'm going to do and hopefully share a bit of that with you. So the process that I'm going to follow is I'm going to start with a story, something real, something that's lived, and try to find the musical idea within that and try to capture it with whatever guitar happens to fit the moment. Maybe shape it into a lesson or reflection or a song idea, and then share it on Sunday with the community. I'll let the weekly shorts tell smaller pieces of the story. When I started this, I talked about enjoy. And I used to talk about like, subscribe, comment, and all of that's still important. But for 2026, what I want to try to get across to people, what I'd like for them to try to do, is to play on. If you're here for the specs, man, leave me a comment. I'll recommend some places to go that are much better at that. If you're here for just comedy and that kind of stuff, I'll tell you some places you can go. But if you're here to grow and to try to make music, to try to heal, to try to be a part of a community, then this is your place, whether you're a mini guitar player or not. We're open to all. And hopefully, we will all play on. Before I tore everything down, this was the original first episode. See, 18 months ago, I spent 3 days in the hospital, diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and I started to understand why my hands had gone wonky. See, my blood sugar was over 740, my A1C was over 14, but I felt perfectly normal. My doctor looked me in the eye and said, "I can't figure out why you're not dead or in a coma." Everyone else seemed very bothered by it. But I immediately changed my habits. I went on a diet and I lost 80 pounds. But I still couldn't play full-scale guitars. Something about the angle, the string tension, the pressure. I couldn't play them. And so out of necessity, the Mini Guitar Society was born. And it became my goal to find the best Mini for me. Which is kind of how this whole thing got started. I started a program also of massage and stretching, strength training, working on dexterity and hand coordination. At the same time, I started investigating, investing, and modifying mini guitars. I also started selling off my full-scale guitars to fund that new project. But I always hoped that I could play full-scale guitars again. Over the next few months, I would work, and then I would try to play, and then I would feel sad, and then I would sell a guitar. Until finally, my collection of full-scale guitars had been whittled down to this one, my American Fat Strat. And tonight, it's my last attempt to play it for more than 10 minutes before I list it for sale in the morning. If I can't do that, it goes. See, I haven't played a full-scale guitar for more than 2 years now, and examples of failure are all over this channel. Now you might wonder, why is this one the last one? Well, I think I'm ready to finally tell her story. So here we go. Once upon a time, there was a young man who had a Lake Placid blue Fender Stratocaster. It was his favorite guitar. And then he met a girl. He was giving up playing electric guitar and all of the things that came with it, and he was switching to acoustics. So he sold that Stratocaster to buy an engagement ring. And they were married. And they were married for 19 years before cancer took her. All through that 19 years, there was an unfulfilled promise. Someday, he would have his Stratocaster back. Shortly after her death, he got a call from his guy in a local music store. They had an American Standard Fat Strat, and they couldn't sell it because it was this weird pewter green jade kind of pearl thing. And it just sat on the shelves forever, so it was marked down at a deep discount. I went in and I saw the guitar, and it was the same color as her eyes. I had my Strat back. And that's why it's the last of the full-size guitars. But tonight I made a decision. If I can't play this for 10 minutes, then it's going to go away. It's going to be sold. Not because I've lost hope, but because it's time to admit, after 18 months of therapy and stretches and all of the work that I've put in, that it's time to put down the dream of ever going back to a full-size guitar. It's time to let it go. It's time to just say goodbye to it and devote myself full-time to the Mini Guitar Society. That's not a sad thing. It's okay. But a funny thing, an unexpected thing happened that made me pick up my phone and call Karen. This is 20 minutes in. But here's my favorite part. Now, I don't just play minis because I have to. I play minis because I choose to. This is the Mini Guitar Society, and it will continue to celebrate the smaller scale guitars. Well, at the rate I'm going, these things will be posting months after I die. Like, share, subscribe, comment, enjoy!